Are you wondering if you should start your AWS Cloud journey with the AWS Cloud Practitioner or the AWS Solutions Architect Associate? If so, this video is for you. Hi, my name is Mike Gibbs. I'm a tech career strategist, and I've worked as every type of enterprise architect, cloud architect, network architect that you can think of for over 25 years now. And in today's video, we're going to talk about the AWS Cloud Practitioner, the AWS Solutions Architect Associate, and where you should start your AWS Cloud journey. To begin, I'd like to describe the AWS Cloud Practitioner. You may hear it called the AWS CCP. And let's talk about what the exam is actually about. And let's talk about whether the exam delivers on its actual goal. So the AWS Cloud Practitioner is what I like to call a pre-fundamentals exam, meaning something you do to make it easier for you to actually learn. So some people took pre-algebra before they took algebra in high school or junior high school, and some people went straight into algebra without pre-algebra. So that's really what we're talking about. It's a pre-fundamentals exam. Now, the AWS Cloud Practitioner, which you'll hear called CCP all the time, is really an intro to AWS and their services. It's a really good exam for a sales executive. It's not meant to be technical, giving them an edge on knowing what are the AWS services and what they call them. Now, let's talk about what the CCP is really about, what it's mostly about. Unfortunately and realistically, it's more of a vocabulary test on what AWS calls its services. So if we're going to do a pre-fundamentals or fundamentals exam, whichever you choose to call it, let's see if it's delivering and giving you the fundamentals that you actually need. Well, while the AWS Cloud Practitioner will give you the names and it will teach you what AWS calls its services, it's going to be significantly lacking on the actual fundamentals that you actually need to be successful. So while the AWS Cloud Practitioner will teach you the name of something like EC2, which it won't teach you is actually a virtual machine, how to size a virtual machine, when you should use a virtual machine, when you should not use a virtual machine, the virtual machine's strengths, weaknesses, what have you. It won't teach you that, which is actually what you need to know to be able to do the job. It'll just teach you, here's what AWS calls it, and to some degree you may click a few boxes and actually configure it. So that's what it actually gives you. It gives you the name, but it doesn't give you the underlying information. So while the AWS Cloud exam will talk about infrastructure as a service, which is basically your virtualized data center, and platform as a service, and software as a service, they won't really teach you about the strengths and weaknesses of each option, which ones you should use for which business purposes, which ones would help you in various situations, or the such. So which one should you not use? So that's the major weakness of the AWS CCP. It's essentially a vocabulary exam with potentially some junior level automatable skills that are inside there. So it doesn't deliver as a fundamentals exam because it lacks actually all the critical fundamentals you need other than the vocabulary terms. So does this exam make sense? Well, if you want to be a sales rep, absolutely. For example, if you were a sales rep at IBM and you want to transfer to AWS, and now you've got all these tech years of tech sales, and now you just got now you know the names and offerings of AWS, you'll be in a better position to go to AWS as a sales rep. Now, let's talk about people with a different goal. Maybe someone has a goal of being a cloud admin, or a cloud engineer, or a cloud architect, or something else. Now, if that's the case, I say skip the AWS Cloud Practitioner because it's really not going to do much of anything for you, and instead start at the AWS Solutions Architect Associate. Now, let's talk about what is the Solutions Architect Associate. Realistically speaking, it's AWS's entry-level knowledge to basically cloud administration on the cloud. So it's a certification that will basically tell you what AWS calls its services, just like the AWS Cloud Practitioner. But in this case, the AWS Solutions Architect Associate will also teach you how to configure those services, which is something a cloud admin would do or a sysadmin would do, not a cloud architect, but it's something that people in hands-on roles would actually do. So the AWS Solutions Architect Associate is very technician-oriented. It's focused on how to. So for example, if someone were to give this person a task that says, set this up, the AWS Cloud Practitioner exam will teach you how to set it up, which is good. Now, here's what's missing from the AWS Solutions Architect Associate. is missing all the actual context. Now, if you actually want to get a job in cloud computing, you're going to need the context, because we don't hire people that we say, here, click these boxes for us. We hire people that know what to do, what not to do, when to do certain things, when not to do certain things, and the ability to know and predict the future. Basically, if we do these three things, what's the impact to the system? So the context is completely lacking in the AWS Solutions Architect Associate, which is typically why I have other training programs to train architects. But I want you to look at it this way. If you're going to do the AWS Solutions Architect Associate, it does give you a very good framework of things to learn. So when you go through the AWS Solutions Architect Associate and they talk about EC2, I want you to read what AWS has, configure all the things they teach you, and then I want you to get off of the AWS cloud. And then I want you to learn what is a virtual machine. I want you to learn about how do you size the virtual machine based on, say, CPU, DRAM, disk performance, network performance, GPU performance, because that way you'll have all the fundamental context of EC2, and then you'll know how to configure. Same thing for containers. When the AWS talks about containers and container orchestration, learn how to do it the AWS way, but get off the cloud and really learn about containers. Learn about their strengths and their weaknesses and how they're orchestrated and where they're run and the such. Do the same thing for everything else along the way. DNS? Sure, learn the AWS Route 53, but get off the cloud and learn actual DNS. Learn the way the DNS system works, learn the DNS messages along the way. Effectively learning all the stuff that is the missing component of the AWS Solutions Architect Associate exam. So you can use the AWS Solutions Architect Associate exam as a beautiful framework of all the things to learn, but you have to fill in the context on your own or find someone that can actually teach it to you. Because in the real world, we don't hire someone because they know the name of something. And we don't hire someone because they know the name of something and how to configure something. We hire people which know which tech to choose, the strengths and weaknesses of each technology, the breaking points of the technology, what we could or couldn't do. That's what we need. So we're looking for that level of professional judgment. We're looking for that level of someone that can do an impact analysis, someone that can evaluate the trade-offs of the various options. And the only way you can do that is if you know the underlying technology that makes the cloud actually possible. Because if you were going to be an architect, for example, and you wanted to design a car, you couldn't design a car if you didn't know anything about motors. So go out there, do this beautiful exam, but also learn all the underlying components that'll make sure you know what you're doing. So to summarize, for the AWS Cloud Practitioner is a wonderful certification for a sales executive, but it typically lacks on everything that you would want out of a pre-fundamentals exam. So if your goal is a more technical thing, like a cloud admin or a cloud engineer, start with the AWS Solutions Architect Associate, but don't just learn the services. Don't just learn how to configure those services. Learn the underlying technology, what it does, how it works, where it's used, and you will have so many more career options. And by the time you're done, your AWS Solutions Architect Associate, you'll have real knowledge. Now, if you'd like to become a solutions architect, a cloud architect, an AI architect, an enterprise architect, or any other kind of architect, we have programs to help you get your first architect job, but we also run a free weekly architecture webinar where we'll talk about the role. We'll talk about the skills you need for the architect role, like the cloud architect role or the AI architect role, for example. We'll talk about what it takes to get hired. We'll talk about everything you need to learn. And then, of course, these webinars are free and live on Zoom, so we can have a face-to-face conversation about your career. Want me to check or evaluate your resume, LinkedIn profile? I'm happy to do it. Want me to give you a sample interview and see if you're ready to be hired? I'm happy to do it and guide you along the way. To register for one of these free architecture webinars, look in the description of this video and please sign up, and I look forward to meeting you there. While you're also in the description of this video, we've got guides on how to help you win the interview, how to help get your first cloud architect job or enterprise architect job, and they're all free. So sign up for some and they'll be emailed to you. Now, if you enjoyed this video on the AWS Cloud Practitioner, otherwise known as the AWS CCP, versus the AWS Solutions Architect Associate, maybe give the video a like, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell to be notified of new videos to assist you in your cloud architect, security architect, AI architect, enterprise architect, or network architect career. This is Mike Gibbs signing off for now, and I look forward to seeing you soon.